Meeting is being recorded.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. We have people both online and in person, which is fun. So if you can't hear me, please say so online. So today we're talking about, today's title of the presentation is Stepping Over Print Barriers, Print Accessibility. It's a presentation regarding different ways to access text, particularly reading materials or printed materials that we have, in paper or in a physical format. So we're excited to talk about all the different options that are out there. There's some new ones that I just discovered too, so we have some good discoveries today. Can you say something? Nope. All right. First, let's talk quickly about what a print disability is. So a print disability is any disability or condition that presents a barrier to accessing printed materials. So this could be a visual impairment. As you know, some of us have a really difficult time accessing printed material. Some of us can't access print material at all. Dyslexia, you might have dyslexia, you might have a hard time reading. People who have cerebral palsy might have issues with accessing prints. Visual processing disorders also. So those are some examples of something that might cause a print disability.
And then I added one more, and that is, and this goes along with the NLS, the National Library Service Guidelines, and that is somebody that cannot turn a physical page. It kind of falls in line with, physical impairments such as cerebral palsy, but they label it cannot turn a physical page is how it's labeled.
Very good. So very good. So the following resources are some that we'll be discussing here today. And they provide access to electronic books, magazines, and or newspapers in an auditory or electronic print format. Bookshare.org, Overdrive/Libby, Bard, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, Playaway, which is fun, Audible, Learning Ally, or RFB&B, NFB Newsline, Kindle, and then we'll go a little bit into Seeing AI, IRA, Be My Eye, things like that. So, and if anyone has any other resources that they use that we haven't talked about, we'd be happy to hear about it for the end of the session.
Anybody use any other resources than what we mentioned? No? All right.
Nope.
Cool. All right.
All right, let's talk quickly about Bookshare. One of my favorites, personally. Bookshare is a website. Let's go to bookshare.org. It is membership only, so you have to apply to join Bookshare. If you are a student in school, it's free for you, K through 12 or 22, or higher education as well. So if you're in college, you have free access to Bookshare, which is great. Otherwise, the membership cost is $50 per year, which is significantly very, very cheap considering how much you get access to. You have unlimited access to a library of 1.1 million titles, and I just looked at the most up-to-date number. When I left for this presentation 2 years ago, it was 800,000. So I think that's kind of crazy that they went up that high. Membership applicants must provide proof of print disability, as we discussed earlier, from a qualified professional, and this can include a teacher of the visually impaired, special education teacher, family doctor, ophthalmologist, optometrist, National Library Service. If you have an account with NLS, then you can use that membership with that account to also qualify. Let's see. So with a Bookshare membership, you have access to textbooks. I've gotten a lot of my school textbooks through there, which is really good. Which I would say is very valuable because you know how textbooks can be hundreds of dollars if you're in college. It's terrible. Books for pleasure, bestsellers. They have whole categories just for bestsellers. New York Times bestsellers, that kind of thing. Magazines, newspapers. They even have manuals, guides, and handbooks. I think they even have like the Bible. They have, all types of different categories. I mean, with 1 million books, I mean, they're gonna have everything. It's great. So Bookshare provides electronic books in a number of different formats. So some of these you may or may not have heard of. The first is BRF, or Braille Refreshable Format. This is for use with a refreshable Braille display and embossers. So if you have a refreshable Braille display, you would use the BRF format. Daisy, which is what many of us would probably use, which it works with every type of accessible technology that reads text, such as screen readers. So if you are running, using JAWS or VoiceOver, you would use probably the Daisy format. A Braille note taker, portable self-voicing Daisy players, which we'll talk about later, and scan and read software. Also, they have .doc format, which is Word, so you can download them in Word format. Some books you can do, some books you can't find the format for Word, but a lot of books you can download as Word documents, which is great. Also, EPUB. MP3. So when you download a Bookshare book as an MP3, there's actually a synthetic voice that will read it to you, and it's synthesized, but it's not bad. So if you like to just listen without having to worry about screen readers, you can do that. Books can also be downloaded directly onto mobile devices via voice stream reader, where fonts can be manipulated or a synthetic voice can be used to read. You can even have VoiceOver read to you using voice stream reader, which is really nice if you like the way VoiceOver reads. You can also use synchronized reading, which means if you like to see the words while it's being read aloud to you, it will do that. It will highlight the word or sentence for you, and you'll be able to see it as well as hear it. Some people like that. Okay. Questions about Bookshare?
It's Amber. With the Bookshare thing, would, because of my blindness, would proof of blindness would Insight be able to provide proof at all?
I believe, Gloria.
I thought, so I know with National Library Service, Insight staff can certify individuals. It's my recollection. I recently looked into this with Bookshare, and as far as I know, it's a teacher of the blind and visually impaired that can certify you, as well as, excuse me?
They said also tech support, assistive technology support staff can do it.
That's correct.
So I think we can too.
Yep.
And I think I asked somebody and they said that we could. So
Yeah.
I will say tentatively yes, but we can check into it.
Yeah, we're actually in the process of checking into it. Mary Abby called, and we're just kind of going up the chain to make sure that it is, that we dot all I's and cross T's.
But remember that if you have an account with NLS, or if you have a BARD subscription, or if
Right.
you're able to use BARD, they can also just take that and transport that
Exactly.
certification over to your Bookshare account.
I don't think I have a.
Yeah, that we can certainly certify you for. So then you would have access to both, which is great.
It's scary. Would they ever think about doing monthly funds?
Bookshare?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but $50 a year, I think.
I do know that
Yeah.
that the price, if there is a difficulty with the price,
They will.
oftentimes they'll work with you.
Especially if I'm considering going to like massage school or something like that, that is something.
Yeah, if you're actively in school, you can certainly get, you can apply to have it free.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think, Carrie, they don't have it monthly, but I think we do have like I don't want to say scholarship program, but something similar to that.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be supported by the the Federal Department of Education, and they were giving a lot of individuals free subscription services. I don't know what the status is of that as of now.
Does anyone already use Bookshare that can, speak to how?
I never even heard of it.
Okay, good. Then we learned something new today. It's a good day.
That's good, it's a good day.
Good day.
School to get my certification, that's actually a good avenue to take, because they're really concerned about how are you gonna get your textbook.
Yep,
Yeah.
and also something that you have to know is that you can actually request that they add a book. So if you need a particular textbook, or if you want a book to read that's not there, there's a form you can fill out to request it, and they may put it up there for you. So just something to consider. So let's talk quickly about Overdrive and Libby. Oh, you stopped screen share.
I had to stop the screen share because the slides weren't moving. My apologies.
Okay.
So I'm going to restart it again. My apologies.
Let me know what slide you need.
Yep.
So the Overdrive and Libby apps provide patrons with access to audiobooks and ebooks that can be borrowed directly from local libraries and downloaded onto your computer, your tablet, or your mobile device, your phone. To borrow content from Overdrive and Libby, a library card is required. Access is free of charge. Content includes ebooks. So you use Kindle typically to read these ebooks unless you have another way to read ebooks. So they're usually like an EPUB or similar format. They also have a lot of audiobooks. Overdrive and Libby provide access to the same content. So they are the same access, same resource. They just have different apps with different interfaces. So the apps are different, but the content is the same. Some libraries will have access to Overdrive, while some libraries will have access to Libby. So you'll have to ask and look for your library in the app and see if your library is supported by either one. And a fun fact is a lot of libraries, you can sign up for a library card online now. I actually signed up for my library card online because mine was super expired. So I did that, and all they wanted was a picture of your face or your ID. So if you have one of those laying around, then you will be just fine. You can sign up online. You don't have to go visit them. Depends on the library, of course.
Mary Abby,
Yes.
are these library cards, is it by state, or is this like universal?
It's by your physical address. So if you live in Cranston, you have to go to Cranston Public Library, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are some libraries that have wider access to a bigger selection, because a lot libraries borrow from each other. So that's something to consider.
Oh, so even with the digital downloads, it would still have to be your home library? It would be, but I think with some libraries, and with the majority of libraries, let's say if you have access to Providence Public Library, you have access to the Ocean State zone. So like, I think that means you have access to everything within the state. Because you're Okay.
This is Arlene.
Yes.
I've been borrowing from OSL for the last 5 years and downloading onto my Talking Books cassettes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Cool.
That's a little bit different, but it's the same kind of concept. So we'll talk about BARD or are you talking about BARD, Arlene, or are you talking about something different?
No, talk about library.
Library, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yes, so you can download it. That's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe you can give us a lesson, Arlene.
I'll talk to my husband about that. He figured it out. He figured it out, and it's wonderful to be where you can buy extra cassettes, and so I always have like 5 or 6 books on reserve ready to go. So
Very
it's really, really nice, because once you download them, you can put them back in circulation.
That's great. I didn't know that. Okay, thank you for sharing.
You're
There
welcome.
are a million ways to access books, everyone. Who knew?
Wow.
Speaking of libraries, they also have a new thing that I just discovered. It's called Playaway, and I'm very excited about it.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Heard of that one.
It's a portable device the size of a credit card that you can borrow if you want to pass it around. We actually have one. You can borrow it from a library. One book is loaded onto each device. You plug headphones in to the device and listen to the book. So you plug headphones into the device and you can listen to it. It only has like 5 buttons on the surface, or 5 or 6 buttons. And it's all very accessible. Even if you can't see the screen, there's a tiny little screen, but it's all accessible. All you have to do is figure out which buttons do what, and then you are golden. It's all physical.
It's run by battery powers and it holds about 30 hours of a charge, I believe. Sorry.
It's great if you're at the airport.
Yes,
If you're
I'm sure it is.
flying. It's so compact.
It's super compact and you don't have to worry about your phone dying. Sorry, we're just passing around the physical one here.
I just bring extra batteries with me and
Most libraries, we've called around and we found that many libraries do carry it. It's only one book on the device.
One book on each device. And you
And
get
all you plug in is
3
your
seconds
headphones.
to read it.
It looks like the Bible thing.
Yes, it's very much like, here, let me check it out. There you go. So
We
there's just,
we have a Bible device.
Yes.
Of that size.
yes,
That actually reads the Bible to you.
yes,
It might be similar, very similar concept.
it is very, very simple.
they used to come with earplugs, earbuds.
Yeah, I think because of COVID, they probably don't.
Okay.
We look at the screen, we don't use the screen.
The screen, I believe, just shows you battery and what position you are in the book. So,
So does the library like hold the stuff?
yes.
Absolutely, you have to come in edge, girl. You know,
So they're gonna let you borrow it like a book.
Yep, exactly.
So whatever.
Yeah. I think we have,
Instead of a cartridge player?
well,
Yeah.
it's another option.
It's another option, however, they don't have as many as you would be able to obtain on the cartridges.
Well, they're starting out
Sorry?
probably. They're starting out.
No, they've been around for like 5 or 6 years, I think.
Okay.
With that, do they only have certain books on that? Or
Yes.
can they put any book?
No,
on
I think they have certain
device?
books, and I think you have to see if it's available at your library. You can't request a book and then have them put it on.
No.
I don't think it quite works that way. So like I said before, it's powered by battery and has about 30 hours of playback time, controlled by physical buttons. There's no touch screen, and they even have little tactile dots on them, and I think it's super helpful.
Mhm.
Saw that.
The accessible, so they're accessible and tactile. They look like, for those of you who are online, it comes in, kind of reminds me of a DVD case. It's
Yeah.
a little bit wider, and truly it's about the size of a credit card, just fatter. I guess somebody was saying here that they used to come with headphones, or I think our legal.
Yeah, they used to come with headphones.
But I think because of COVID,
Yeah, they
they
stopped.
stopped putting.
Yeah, everybody uses their own, but it's got the traditional headphone jack. They have to be wired headphones and not Bluetooth.
I love it. I actually am so sad I didn't know about this before. But yeah.
I wonder if they still sell them at the airports with the earbuds, like a special edition sort of thing that you buy the package.
maybe.
and, that's how I got turned on to it.
Oh, cool.
I
originally.
think if you're buying it, they'll give you the headphones, but I think because you're borrowing it,
Yes,
They will.
yes, they don't at the library, but at the airport, they used to sell, it was all in a package, the little, you could pick up a
Oh.
book to read. So they may have still sell them that way at airports. But
very
I
cool.
can
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how I got turned on to it in the first place, but I can understand about borrowing from the library that they don't have them.
Hey,
Or
thank
maybe
you for
they took
sharing,
them out.
Arlene.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for sharing. We really
Oh,
appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
As always, you have a lot of good info.
They are not inexpensive, however, especially if you
No.
buy them at the
No.
airport.
They're expensive.
Arlene, do you remember how much they are to buy? I
Oh,
don't-
gosh.
I like saw them online and it
Yeah.
looked like they were almost $80.
Yeah, I
"Oh,
saw
goodness."
prices that range from 39 to like 79.
I was gonna say 40,
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
that,
we're-
that was a while ago. I mean, it's
Mm.
like, just if you really all of a sudden are caught without a book and you're shopping for candy to eat, you might pick it up. I only did it a couple of times.
Okay,
Only because it was so compact. I could just bring batteries and tuck it into a little case, when I wasn't using it.
so for those of you who just joined, we're talking about Playaway, which is a new way that I discovered. It's not new, but it's a little credit card sized device that you can, it has one book on it and you can borrow them at libraries. And you just plug headphones in and it only has a few buttons that you have to press to read the book. And it's great.
It's really nice.
I
Yeah,
love it.
me too.
Thank you, Arlene.
You're welcome.
You're the best. Okay, so
We're gonna talk about BARD, which everyone probably has heard of a little bit at least.
Oh, yeah.
So BARD is the Braille and Audio Reading Download Service. That's what it stands for. It's part of the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. That's the name. It is funded annually by Congress, which is really great. Thank you, Congress. And who qualifies? So patrons who are permanently or temporarily blind, visually impaired, or have other physical disabilities that prevent the handling of print materials. So again, if you have a print disability, as we discussed at the beginning. BARD provides access to thousands of talking books, magazines, musical scores. Books and magazines are also available in Braille, which is great. Tomorrow. What is a talking book? A talking book is also known as a audiobook. They have been recorded by NLS, or National Library Service, narrators. So they have specific narrators that they use to narrate these books. However, commercial audiobooks are also being added. If you look around now, you might find that some audiobooks that are narrated by commercial readers are on BARD now. So for example, the book that Barack Obama wrote, he is actually narrating it. And I think you can get it on BARD that way too.
Wow.
So just as an example, that's a commercial book, but they put it on BARD.
Is that a free service?
It is a free service. You fill an application. We can actually certify you here at Insight. And they will send you a physical, they give you a machine. I think I'm getting ahead of myself here.
The reading, the reading quality of the commercial books is multi-levels above what is put out by the National Library Service. I love them dearly, but normally I get the commercial audio because
agree.
the readers are actors, they have sound effects, and it's just, that's pretty much all I look for now if it's a commercial audio book.
I agree. Yeah, they have different kind of, they're kind of different levels, but they are both great. They are both really, really great. And I would say that the BARD books are very well done and very professionally done as well. So
Oh, yeah.
you're not really.
I don't mean to knock them. I
No,
think,
no. I agree with you completely.
but like a James Patterson book, if it's at the ocean, you'll hear the buoy sounds. You hear the waves. You hear the waves. You're practically there. His books are very rich in background sounds.
Oh, that's great. I need to check some of those out.
Sure.
Look at our Lynn giving us all the resources. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Now I know some good books to check out too.
She has a question.
Yes.
How do I, like, this is all new to me?
Yep.
So the right-hand doctor's working with me.
Mhm.
How do I know what I am? So how do I know if print, whatever you said?
If you have a visual impairment of any kind, you would qualify, I believe. Is that- Yep.
Yep.
So if you are qualified as legally blind,
Well, that's what he calls it,
Yep.
visual impairment.
then you will be
Yep.
just fine.
And if you're interested in this, we can help sign you up for the service.
Absolutely.
Because I'd be interested, and then I guess the other question I have is, I'd be interested in the BARD.
Yep.
How do I read that?
Oh, yeah, we'll get right into that just now.
We're gonna
Bar, how do you spell that?
BARD.
yeah, it's an acronym.
So, so to access BARD, to read the books with BARD, you use a digital player sent free of charge after you sign up, and you just have to indicate. We'll pass it around afterwards, so that way you guys can feel it. We have one here, and we also have a cartridge with a book on it, so you can see how it works. So they send you this machine. You have access. They send you a cartridge with a book on it. You plug it into the machine, and it plays right there for you. With that machine, you can skip through chapters, skip by 15-second increments. You can bookmark, you can have a sleep timer, you can speed it up if you want. That machine holds like 30 or 40 hours of battery life, which is crazy.
They have two different types of players.
They do.
Listen, I just have to tell you, they offer Playboy. They offer Playboy. This may be the one time that some people really just have to read the articles.
Thank you, Harley.
You're really just
Thank you,
reading
Miss
the
Harley.
articles. All right.
I love it. It's good.
Can imagine those descriptions.
I did not. I'm a little,
Oh, boy.
but a little traumatized.
Yes.
So there is also, yeah, like Perry said, there are two types of players. There is the advanced player, which allows you to sleep timer and the bookmarking feature, I believe. Then there's just the basic one, which allows you all the navigational things that you normally should have. Back in the day, they used to send out these big yellow machines that you would put cassette tapes into, but they don't do that.
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
I still have mine.
I remember about the ones where it was like the work track or something or whatever.
Oh, yeah, babe.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, babe.
those were gnarly and they were so monotone. Even the textbooks were monotone. They were like graphic. Picture of the Japanese memorial.
So the next thing is that you also have access to books on Bard on the iOS or Android platform. They have apps on Android and iOS where you can download the books directly. So typically, if you have the machine and you want the cartridges, you either have to request specific books or you can download them yourself onto a blank cartridge or even a flash drive, USB stick. So there are a few ways to get these books. You can, as I said, download them from the Bard website yourself, or you can have them send them to you if you don't know how to download or you don't feel comfortable downloading these books. But if not, you can download the app on your phone or your tablet, and you can download books on demand. And you know what the nice thing is you do not have to return them. So you can keep them on your device for as long as you like. Okay, so let me see. I think
I'll probably on my iPad because then I won't have to deal with pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bard. You can let us know if you want help with applications or anything. I think that you can also fill it out. No, that's Bookshare that you can fill it out.
Yeah, nope. The Bard one is, you're better off actually getting, coming here and letting us certify your, application for you. And help you, even helping you fill it out.
A certified formula.
Yeah,
Maybe
yep.
we can, yeah, so we see us afterwards if we can talk about it. if
Yep.
you are
We'll get you a form and we'll get you certified.
interested. So Kindle, we're gonna talk about Kindle quickly.
Mhm.
By the way, I am obsessed with Kindle, so it's not good for my library. Kindle provides access to millions of books. You can use Kindle Unlimited subscription for $10 a month to download and read books that are marked as free with Kindle Unlimited. So there are certain books that are free, and there's a lot of books that are free with Kindle Unlimited. You can also purchase books instead of paying a subscription fee. Books are usually like, Kindle books are normally like $3 or $4. It's not too bad.
Mhm. Do you know how much a Kindle Unlimited subscription is?
It's $10
A month?
Really not bad.
Wow. Wow.
So you do have to, on your device, you can only have 10 Kindle Unlimited books before they ask you to return one before you buy a new one. So you can only borrow 10 at a time, and then you have to return one to open a slot, I guess, for a new book to be downloaded. It is fully voiceover accessible. You will not, however, have a choice of using, they don't have their own synthetic voices. You will use voiceover if you need it to be read aloud. You can also pair Kindle books with Audible books, which I'll talk about later, and you can have it read to you while you read, if you like that. However, you do have to buy the book.
The hard, right, the hard, yep.
So it is also accessible with JAWS if you are a screen reader user. Just so you know, on Windows.
Mhm.
So that's Kindle.
I can add one more thing. You can also listen to Kindle books on your Alexa.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Kindle books, you can ask Alexa to read your Kindle book, and what voice will do it? You know,
It's synthetic voice, and
It's a voice view voice.
I think it's the voice view. No, it's not. It's better than voice view.
Ooh.
It's not the voice view is the screen reader for Alexa. And it's not that voice. That voice is really, really,
Terrible.
yeah.
So they
It's-
have their own voice for Kindle books.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Great,
And
okay.
it's pretty good. And I have people who have hearing impairments as well as vision, and they're able to access it through their Alexa.
Perfect. Thank you.
Wow.
The Kindle doesn't have like bookmarking, like remember this spot, those kind of things. It doesn't spell a word. The navigation is a little
It's not
wonky.
ideal.
Yeah,
Not
that's a
ideal.
better word.
However, the selection is huge.
Yes, it is.
It's huge selection and it's all commercial, so.
Yep.
On the app, you can actually bookmark, but I have a little bit of trouble making it work well.
Yeah.
And you can also do text search, so you can search for specific keywords, that kind of thing. For those who are visual, you can highlight, jump to pages, that kind of thing. But it's definitely not the best, but it's also great for selection, so.
How do you select a book? I see they offer me books, but the ones they offer me, I don't usually want. How do I go through and look and see if I think of a title I want, how do I go find it on that?
So you'd have to search, there's a search box you can type it into and it'll pop up. So the thing you have to know is you can only download directly from the Kindle app if it's free. If it's paid, you
Right.
have to go on the actual Kindle website and buy it. And
Right,
then it will be sent to your device. So you cannot download a paid book from the Kindle app,
right.
only free books.
Now, sometimes if you see a book you want, if you're looking for a book and you look on Kindle, there it is. And it is, if you have this unlimited thing, it'll tell you if the book you're looking at that you want is
Yes.
unlimited.
Yes,
Okay,
it will tell you if it's
okay.
unlimited. And if it's a Kindle unlimited book, you can go ahead and download it.
Right, and just go ahead and download it.
I love it. It's good. So this next book, this next resource is called Learning Ally. It's also called RFB&D back in the day. Provides audiobooks to individuals who have learning disabilities, are visually impaired, or other physical disabilities that prevent traditional access to print. Membership is required, again. Documentation required from a qualified professional for a proof of disability. Provides access to 80,000 plus audiobooks. They are narrated by volunteers, I believe. Some have reported that they don't really have such good luck with their narration, but it's not bad for what it is. So it's good. I would recommend it too. So can be accessed on mobile applications such as Android or iOS, a laptop or desktop, and also on daisy players, which we will discuss an example of one later on.
Susan, join the meeting.
And let's see. Okay, sorry, just gonna put her in. So the next topic is Audible. Audible is a commercial audiobook provider. So this is open to the public. It is not, you don't need to be certified. However, you do have to pay. It is subscription based. It is, the minimum is $15 a month. So it is not necessarily cheap for some. And when you pay that $15, you get 1 credit with that $15 to buy any book of your choice. And then you also have access to their free library of, they have like podcasts and different like kind of radio dramas and things like that. So you have access to their free library and you get to choose 1 book of your choice. They have a really good review system. So oftentimes you can check the reviews of a book before you buy it, see if the narrator's good, if the book is good, that kind of thing. And also you can hear a sample. I think it's like a 3 to 5 minute sample of the book being read, so you can hear if you like the narrator. You can access it on the mobile applications, on the website itself, audible.com, laptops and desktops. However, the app is a little bit tricky to navigate with a screen reader. It's doable, but I think it's tricky. Tablets and Amazon Alexa devices will read them because it is actually an Amazon service. So yes, Audible is owned by Amazon, so you know. Okay.
We can also listen to Audible books on our Victor streams.
Yes.
Victor
And we
Reader
should
streams.
definitely do a Victor Reader stream in a little bit because we've been talking about baby players a lot. And
Right.
that's one of them.
Okay.
So the NFB Newsline is the next one. For some of you, this might be really helpful. So it's provided by the National Federation of the Blind. It has no cost. Membership is available to those who are blind, deafblind, or low vision, or those who otherwise have a disability.
2, 5, 1, 3, 3, 5.
So-
People in the background, can you just mute yourself?
Sorry about that.
Thank you. No worries.
It provides access to major newspapers, 40 plus magazines. I think. Okay. Provides access to major newspapers, 40 plus magazines, job postings, emergency weather alerts, and breaking news. So you access it by an Amazon Alexa device, iOS mobile application that they have just come up with. Angie, I'm going to call on you to call me if I'm wrong. NFB Newsline's website and via telephone. So there's a phone number you call. Do you have a special PIN or key that you type in to access your selection of things? And then you can navigate using your telephone keypad through the different news articles and magazines, et cetera, et cetera. Customized news and job listings can be sent by email. Interesting. And everything is read. I believe it's synthetic voice. It's not a narrator, but that could have changed since I last heard it.
So the NFB Newsline is a phone service. So if you know how to use your phone and the keypad on your phone, you can have access to magazines, newspapers. I have a friend who just does the New York Times, op-ed pages, that kind of stuff. So it's all accessible just on your phone. I know people that just spend hours on the phone.
Yes.
Yep, you listen to it right through your phone. Yep.
I'm one of those people that spend an hour a day on it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it does the Providence Journal.
Yes.
Yes, you can do it that
You
way
can
too.
access it on Alexa. You can ask Alexa to read the book for you or the newspapers for you.
Mhm.
There are specific commands you have to use in order to access it that way, but you can certainly learn to do it. And it'll be good.
And this is Molly. I'm here virtually. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Molly.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to add that when you listen to a publication like, say, the Providence Journal on NFB Newsline, you don't have to sit down and listen to it, cover to cover. Like, say, I have a lot of clients, they just like to read the obituaries, for example. I don't know why, but that's what they like to do. And once, it will take you through a menu that says, for the front page, press 1, for, letters to the editor, press 2, for obituaries, press 3. So you don't have to listen to the whole thing. If you just have a certain section that you want to listen to, you can definitely do that.
Very cool. Thank you, Molly.
And then lastly, of course, there's an app for that. So the iOS device has the app for the NFB Newsline if you so choose to use your cell phone.
Molly, does Android have a Newsline app? Do you know? Picking on you now.
Yeah, I believe it does. I know people with Androids who definitely use Newsline.
Okay.
So sorry, a message just came through from Angie. She said I use it, but I don't think she's talking about the Android app because I know Angie has an iPhone. But yeah, I am 99.9% sure they have an Android app. But like you said, if you're someone who's not techie, you don't have a smartphone, or you don't love to use your smartphone, you just call that number. And if you are a Newsline user and you need like a printout of all of the, what the different numbers do, for example, on your phone keypad, like to speed up the voice, slow down the voice, change the pitch, go to the next article, stuff like that. You can can always call us at Services for the Blind on our intake line. We can always, send you out a printout of that if that's helpful, or and we can also help sign people up for Newsline because Rob Pyers, who's in my office,
Join the meeting.
I believe, in charge of that. So, if you're involved with Services for the Blind, or even if you're not, you can always give us a call and we can help. And because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Angie, I think it's Rob that has to generate people's codes for that. So if people are wondering, you can always give us a call.
Okay, yes, Angie confirmed they have an Android app.
Angie says they do have an Android app.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for the information, Molly. Yes, so you can
no worries.
If you have any questions about this.
Sorry about
Passing the buck to you, girl.
I'll be waiting by the phone.
You have to speak to Rob Pyers for Newsline.
Right.
At Services for the Blind. Thank you.
I fell asleep, Gloria.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I was that good to you, huh? All right.
Yes, there you go.
So there are a number of devices mentioned throughout this presentation that increase accessibility, efficiency, or functionality when reading print materials. So we mentioned the Alexa devices, Access Audible, Kindle, and Newsline. Kindle, let's see, Victor Reader Stream, which we are going to talk about just in a minute here. So the Victor Reader Stream is a handheld media player for those with print disabilities. It supports formats such as MP3, EPUB, MP4, DAISY, text files, etc. EPUB and text files are read with a synthetic voice. It allows for bookmarking, navigation through books by sections or chapters, etc. It also, it's also a very great digital recorder. A lot of people love it because it has an instant record button and it will just record what's going on. You can download a Bard, Bookshare, Learning Ally books directly to the device. It has internet capabilities.
Audible
too. Yeah, that's right. Internet stations, internet radio stations, podcasts, all those.
I'll tell you, Mike, the coolest feature for the Victor is you can create a Microsoft Word document, okay? And then you can put it on your Victor Stream so it will then read it to you. So let's say that you wanted, like emergency contact phone numbers. Okay, somebody could create a Microsoft Word document for you, send it over to the Victor, and then it'll actually read that document to you.
There you go.
That's a cool feature.
Yeah.
Is there something that was like before this happened, I could always journal my, stuff. And
Sure.
Is there something where you could talk to the thing and it could journal for me?
Oh, interesting question.
Wow.
Let's chat after.
Yeah.
I think let's chat after because that's a really, really great question, and I might have a few ideas for you. But hold that one, and we'll go into that for sure. Wow, that's a good one. So files can be uploaded by USB. You can plug it into your computer and put files directly onto the device, or you can, like I said, you can download them onto the from the internet.
The Victor Stream has an SD card in it, and that's where the books usually get saved. You can increase the size of that card, which then gives you an increased capability of storing books. So I have a few people that have 200-300 books on their players, along with podcasts, Audible books, recordings, the whole nine. So personally, it's one of my favorite devices.
So the next thing that we want to just quickly talk about is different accessibility features on your phone that might help you access print. So some of you might know this already, but Zoom is a feature that allows you to magnify text and zoom in on iPhones. And it allows you to zoom into portions of the screen so that you can see it a little bit better if it's bigger. You can also change the contrast of things on the screen. VoiceOver, I think we've been mentioning that one a lot, is a text-to-speech program. So that means it reads text elements on the screen as you navigate around the screen and do the various gestures, and it gives you feedback on what you are touching so that you can use your touch screen.
In terms of literature, it can be used to read ebooks and other digital literature. So you can even, use VoiceOver to use the Voice Dream Reader app to download Bookshare books, for example. Seeing AI provides optical character recognition, which means it would take a photo of a text, if you take a picture of a book page, and it will pull all the text out for you and read it to you. It can be used to read labels, documents, currency, packages, mail, things like that. Then you have Ira, who connects you instantly via a video. Actually, that's not so instant because they're very low people, I think, there, but it allows you to connect to them via video, and they will help you. Using your camera, they will read any text that you need, e.g., for example, mail expiration dates, newspapers. One time I had them help me for a while. They sat with me didn't sit with me in my kitchen, but on my phone, they were helping me go through expiration dates on my cans and products. So that was super helpful.
I have a story about Ira.
Yeah, 1 second, Amber. Sorry, we're just gonna go through and finish these slides. Voice Dream Suite is another set of apps you can download onto your phone. Voice Dream Scanner and Voice Dream Reader are two mobile apps that increase access to literature. Voice Dream Reader allows you to read ebooks, PDFs. You can what we call import PDF books or EPUB books or text documents into Voice Dream Reader, and then you have access to a lot of different voices to read that aloud to you. Like I said earlier, it also will highlight the word if you want it to, and as you read along. And you can bookmark and jump to various chapters, search for specific keywords, that kind of thing. Voice Dream Scanner is an app that performs OCR, just like Seeing AI does. You can take a picture of text and it will read that text back to you digitally or physically. So you can take, if you have a screenshot that has text and you can't read it, you can put that screenshot or picture into one of these apps and it will read it to you. Tell you what text is in it as well. So we just give you a lot of information, to say the least. So, Gloria, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I just want to go around and show people some of the players that we talked about, so they just have a little experience. So I'm going to take the bar player first.